Hello, welcome back to the Terrace. Welcome, one and all. Tottenham 2, Southampton 1. Tottenham are back. It was all Jose. See? No problems. First time this season, Spurs have come from behind at half-time to even pick up a point, let alone a victory. Excellent second half display from young Ryan Mason's team. And listen, they're not really back. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic, a little bit over the top. But it was a very good second half performance. Controversial penalty wins it. You know, was there a handball by Tottenham? Was there a handball by Toby? It was definitely a foul that led to it, but they get the penalty and they put it away after having a goal disallowed just before it as well. But overall, I think Spurs fans can be chuffed. It's been a very weird week for Tottenham. The Super League inclusion, Jose being sacked. I understand Ryan Mason is only an interim manager, but he is very, very, very young to be in a position such as this. And he's gone out there today, and his team has put in a decent performance. I felt in this first half, I thought it was flat. Let's be absolutely blunt about it. I thought the first half was flat. There was no real cohesion. But in the end, they came through. We're going to go to your calls very, very soon for you to come on and have your say. But make sure like buttons are being hit and all that jazz. And who knows? Looking at the league table now, Spurs moved themselves up. I don't know if the league table is actually refreshed that I'm looking at right now. It hasn't refreshed. Let me refresh this to make sure this is right. That's it. Spurs go 7th. They're on 50 points they're now on. No, that's not true. It can't be right. Why has that not refreshed itself? Let me refresh this. That should have updated. No, they should now be on, 50. They should be on 53 points, right? Is that where they should be? I don't know why this league table hasn't updated itself. Or maybe my head's gone. 51 points they're on. 51 points. 4 points off of the top 4. It is doable. Harry Kane's on his way back. If they get a little bit of a manager bounce, who knows? Tottenham fans, are you confident of a top 4 finish? You've got the big Carling Cup game as well this weekend. We want your views and opinions. We haven't spoke to too many Spurs fans about the sacking of Jose Mourinho, so we'll go through that as well. Get a man like Jake on in a minute who wanted Jose sacked before the Carling Cup final when he got his wish. Like he said that about 2 months ago, and everyone called him mad. It's happened. Every team that joined the European Super League has to be punished. It's hard to accept being a Chelsea fan. I think a 2-season transfer ban is only fair. Bro, there's no way you're a Chelsea fan, and there's no way that's going to happen. They put themselves into a corner. The authorities and the media, the authorities and the other clubs have put themselves into a very difficult situation. They've said that the fans, we have to think about the fans. You can't then punish the innocent fans for the owner's club's mistake. We said the players and managers were innocent. We can't then punish them for the owner's mistakes. It won't happen. It really, really will not. 53. It's 53 points. Is it 53 points you're on? Then why is the Premier League thing here telling me 51? Is it 53? If it's 53, then you're 1 point away. Look, I'm going to show you I'm not lying here. Here's fact check time, right? Time for the fact checks coming up now. Let me get this. Let me get this on my screen. You see that? I'm going to zoom in. And by the time I zoom in, if this changes, I'm going to actually cry because then I'm going to look like I'm a liar. Don't like that. Let me scroll down. That says 51, right? But is it 53? It must be. I don't know. I don't know why this hasn't updated. Let me refresh it while we're all on the screen here. Still says 51. It's doing my head in. But if you're saying it's 53, I trust you all very, very much indeed. A point or two away. 1 point. My maths has gone terrible. My head's gone. It's 55, so it's 2 points away. That puts Tottenham back in the race. New manager bounce. Here we go. We're going to start going to the calls, see what everybody thinks and feels. First up, Jake, what you saying, bro?
It's a relief, a massive relief to finally win a game and to come back from behind, because that's not something that we're used to under Jose. So yeah, I'm definitely relieved. It's not a sensational performance by any means. I'm not celebrating the performance because, again, we're quite pathetic in the first half, but we grew into it in the second half and we showed control. We showed that we can keep the ball. Contrary to what a lot of people have told us, that our midfield is incapable of keeping possession and naturally they sit deeper and deeper. We can actually, attack the side and play on the front foot. Not that it was great, but all the Jose sexuals out there trying to say that it's just the players. No, the players are still responsible for being poor, but he had to go as well, and a lot has to change. But again, he was a problem. So yeah,
I,
it's a different performance.
I am shocked that there are still football fans out there that persist with when Jose's in charge, ignoring. I don't know what's bigger than an elephant, a mammoth in the room when it comes to Jose Mourinho. That it isn't even his tactics; it's the attitude he demonstrates, the toxicity, the behaviour that ruins the environment that he's surrounding, and it damages the squad. If you read all the articles, all the inside information as to what went wrong, you'll find very few parts of it are the players thought the tactics were disgraceful. It was attitude, behaviour, hanging people out to dry, grumpiness, the way he ostracised people. So you're absolutely right. Of course, players need to improve at Tottenham for you to win a league title, to get back regularly into the top four. But Jose had to go. And do you know what stood out to me massively? So far, Liverpool and Chelsea have played under sort of shadow and whatnot of the Super League. Harder for Liverpool because no one knew what was going to happen. By the time Chelsea played, they'd pulled out of it. Spurs have played a day later. But you've done it with a manager who's in his early 30s, never managed before, had a couple of days training with the squad under this cloud that's been going on, and he manages to get one of the better performances out of your team in recent weeks. But I did see so many Tottenham fans on social saying, see, it wasn't Jose Mourinho. A lot of Chelsea fans, it wasn't Mourinho. It's just the players. Can you even understand how they're ignoring all these factors and not taking them into consideration?
No, I think it's just the hyper-polarisation of football fans now and their views. It has to be one thing or the other. It can't be an amalgamation of things. And I just think that in society just needs to change, because I think, again, I don't want to get into politics, but that's what politics is, sort of becoming more polarised as well. And every single view is just becoming more and more extreme. At the end of the day, one bit of toxicity has gone out of the club. Now we need to continue that and get rid of a lot of these players, because defensively we look woeful in the first half. We didn't know how to keep the ball with the back line, didn't know how to control the ball in terms of being able to find a way out. The second half that improved, and I think that happens with confidence as well, because clearly we grew into the game. The confidence grew as the game went on. So, some of the issues have been sort of improved slightly today, but obviously there's still a lot of work to be done.
No, I agree. And yes, people are saying he's 29. I've got his age and Julian Ungersman confused, who is 33. So 29-year-old manager. That has to be the youngest person to ever manage a Premier League game.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Must be. I can't think of anyone who's been younger than that managing. And I thought we did really, really well. And you're right about the polarization element. I think that people are just. I got a lot of slander for it today, but I've been quite happy to see that come back. Like that 48-hour intense period, but all we spoke about was Super League, and we stopped. Liverpool fans on Monday night were not even bothered that they dropped points. It was I don't care right now. It's been quite nice seeing Chelsea fans backing Jose and Spurs fans moaning about their players, United fans having some of their debates come back, because that's what football's all about for me. We have to go back to what actually in the grand scheme of things are the trivial conversations for it to feel normal again. And I know it's a big talking point now, but it will die down pretty quickly. This is the nature of the beast. Within a week or two, there'll be another big story that comes out that starts to dominate and whatnot. But how are you feeling ahead of the Carabao Cup final? Are you confident? Do you think you can win? Where's your head at with it, bro?
Nah, the reason why I wanted him sacked before the Carabao Cup final was just to slightly increase our chances of winning it, and try and give it a go and have a performance where the players are probably trying a little bit more, because it's literally increased our chances of winning from 2% to 10%. That's essentially what it is, and I'd rather go with the 10% than the 2%. Yeah. I think we'll still get slapped, but at the end of the day, you've got to slowly get rid of things. He's the first thing that we've got rid of. I'm not optimistic that we'll have a big clear out this summer, especially with the COVID market, especially with the sacking of Jose. but something had to give. Something had to give, and
I think it all depends on what manager comes in. If you do land Nagelsmann as an example, I think you can get tunes out of some of your more average players. If it's Gareth Southgate, which I have heard as an option, I mean that's just like going for a younger Jose, but without the kind of behavioral issues that you would get. Listen, bro, I always appreciate you coming on, having your say, mate. I really, really do. We'll speak to you again soon. Stop, man. Thank you. Fairly short show tonight because, of course, Aston Villa, Man City kicks off soon. Enoch out, Levy out, Joe Lewis out, Comedy Spurs. Daniel Levy was at White Hart Lane today. Lots of anger and frustration. Next on the show, we've got Alan backstage. We've got Flicks backstage. We've got Alex backstage as well. So they're all coming on to have their say one by one tonight. Want to get their views and opinions on a lot that's going on. But Alan's with us here now. No more Jose Mourinho. Your first time you've come from behind at halftime to pick up points this season. Excellent second half display. You just broke the record for the youngest manager to ever win a Premier League game. Cup final at the weekend. I mean, it's fair to say Tottenham are back, right?
Oh, Tottenham are definitely back. No. That'll annoy some Chelsea fans who are Mourinho or Mourinho lovers. First half was awful. For me, Mason shouldn't have been given a job. I think Levy's culpable for that because he's so young, but you can only judge him based on that. It was a good second half performance. I think the game changed on Ings' injury because we didn't seem to be in the game until that happened. But it was a good comeback. Bale putting in a shift that apparently he was injured all the time where he weren't up to it. It's just to see the players playing with a lot of intensity and fire and desire where we haven't done it previously before under Mourinho. Like I say, Mourinho probably would have won us the cup in that one-off game, but it's just his toxicness, the bad attitude, the always having to go at players, making just a toxic environment, which he had to go. So for me, right decision. I thought it was a bit weird before the cup final, but Daniel Levy probably thought if I play him, if he wins the cup, can I get rid of him? It's not the only problem with this club, though. Daniel Levy needs to go. Quite a few players need to go as well. But we are in a rebuild situation from this summer onwards.
Yeah, I hear that. Ahead of the cup final, how are you feeling about that? Is there like a quiet confidence? Is it just... Does it feel like a free hit now that Jose's not there? Like, where are you at with it mentally?
I think for Mason, it's a free hit. I'm not expecting. To be fair, before Mourinho got sacked, I wasn't confident with him. I'm still not confident now because Man City are massive favourites. Anyone that says, "Oh, Spurs are favourites," is just kidding themselves. Hopefully, we can work a miracle and win the cup. I'd love to win the cup. I wanted to win it even with Mourinho as manager because although in the end I was Mourinho out, I'm not that type of fan. But it's a free hit for Ryan Mason. Hopefully we can pull off a shock result and win a trophy, but we'll have to wait and see.
There we go. Listen, Alan, thank you very much for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate that.
Cheers.
Bro. Top man, thank you. Next up, Flicks is on the line with us. Make sure like buttons are being hit. Flicks is here. Mason gets his first victory.
Yes.
Behind. You look happy. It's quite nice. Like a bit morbid. You look quite happy.
Bruv, I'm too happy. Words can't describe right now. I'm so happy for Ryan Mason as well. Like you said, the youngest manager to basically get a win in the league, yeah?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware. Like I saw a tweet about it. I'm assuming it's right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right. I'm sure that's right. He's 29. So yeah. Big up Ryan Mason for that. He's had big shoes to fill. First game in, it's still honeymoon period and whatnot. But I'm happy for the guy. Not only that, Sonny, when he got that goal, that was offside. His face lit up. It's like he wanted to cry. The emotion, it's too much for him. And it just shows how much he loves the club. But to bag all 3 points tonight is a big confident boost. Going on to Sunday, anything can happen. Anything can happen now. So,
yeah. How are you feeling post Jose Mourinho? I know a lot of people are saying no, it was a player. You should have kept him. Blah blah blah. Do you think the most important and first step was getting rid of Jose Mourinho?
As you know from previous interviews, and I was very half and half. But at the end of the day, he did lose the dressing room in the end. We could see he lost the dressing room. But then again, we do know there was there is a good handful of players that need to go now. Like Alan said, you know, you got Levy who needs to sell up. Joe Lewis, whatever his name is, Enoch, go. It's time to go now.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think Spurs, the Spurs fan base, United, Arsenal seem to be the ones that are absolutely like, and Liverpool so furious with their owners after what happened in the last few hours, and you know, are hoping for that change and are hoping for that opportunity to be able to, you know, move on to new owners and better owners and stuff like that. They really, really are. Ahead of the cup final, how you feeling? Confident?
I'm not going to say confident. Not going to say confident. I'm just, look, we ain't got nothing to lose, have we? Got nothing to lose. Let's just go out there. We've beat City before this season. So let's just go out there and show what we can do. You know, we have got a quality team. You've said it yourself. We have got some quality in that squad. It's just just a good handful of players that need to go. But going on to Sunday, let's just go out there, and give it our all. That's what we can do at the moment.
I feel with Spurs' squad, when Lampard was at Chelsea and he was struggling towards the end, there was a lot of players in their squad that I used to sit there and see on socials, or people would phone into the shows that they would all like rip into. He isn't good enough. He isn't good enough. He isn't good enough. Tuchel come in and some of these individuals started performing, and you just like, oh, actually, he was pretty good. Actually, that guy. I think if Nagelsmann came in, if a very good manager, very good coach, very good technical coach came in, some of the players that people are unsure on, maybe not Dyer, maybe not Davis, but I think someone like Harry Winks could be revived, not to be a Premier League leading star, but could be a good squad player. I think the like Ndombele and Lo Celso could move up to another level if they had the right kind of coaching. And listen, for Mason, he's 29 years of age. I don't even know what qualifications he's got. He certainly doesn't have any experience managing at this level. You know, he probably won't be the irony is with Nagelsmann, he's only 3 or 4 years older, but he's had that experience managing. So it's going to be really intriguing to see. Flicks, great. Thank you for coming on, having your say, mate. Really appreciate that. We have a super chat here from man like Josh, who says, I've not celebrated goals that much in a long time. 48 hours and Ryan Mason got out of these players more than Jose could. No Kane. Come on, you Spurs. And Spurs fans should be happy tonight. They should be happy because pulled out the Super League. So from a fan perspective, be happy and grateful that disastrous competition isn't going to go forward and you're not going to be involved in that. There is the possibility the club may be sold. Who knows? But Jose Mourinho's gone. And I think that there should be light at the end of the tunnel now for Tottenham fans. Big up yourself, Josh, for the super chat, mate. Means a great deal to us. Eleanor's backstage coming on very, very soon. First up, though, Alex is here with me. Alex, how you doing? You're on mute, bro.
Yeah, it was a good victory today. The first half, I admit, I fell asleep and I missed the goal, and I had to rewind Sky to actually see it again. But the thing I would say is that, and this is, I think, a difference over Mourinho's time as well, is that there's just a lack of movement, and we just decided to move when people had the ball. And I think that's why we scored the goals. I mean, yes, I do agree with Alan that when Ings came off, it did have a game changer in the game. But, you know, I think it's just the fact that we just looked like we were moving more. We looked like we wanted the ball more. And that makes a difference in terms of Tottenham playing. Because if you don't have movement in up front, you're not gonna find any space, aren't you? So I think that was the main thing I took from the game today, and it was a good victory. I don't agree with Bell being man of the match. I think I don't know who was really the man of the match, but I wouldn't agree with Bell being man of the match. I still feel he's better up front, and I think it was clear today that he's better up front. The thing that really stood out to me was when Bergwijn came on, there was more intensity in the team, and it was so clear. But yeah, we just have to go on and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your reaction? We didn't speak in the week to Jose Mourinho being sacked. You didn't believe it would happen. Not only during the season, you didn't even believe it would happen at the end of the season. Were you shocked when you saw the news?
You're going to be shocked about this, but I wasn't happy about the whole thing about him being sacked. I thought it was a situation where it was to do with. It was nothing to do with Friday. I think it was to do with the Super League. and try and distract the whole thing about the Super League and stuff, and thought, well, let's get rid of him now, and about money for Tottenham. For me, I would have kept him until after the cup final and then sacked him then, because it would have been season over for me. That's my opinion. I know some journalists have put their things out, and I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just giving my opinion. Because for me, I like stability at Tottenham. I think we work well with stability at Tottenham. I didn't agree with Pochettino getting sacked, but we had somebody in like Mourinho brought in straight away. Having a interim manager, and again, I'm not having a go at Mason. I'm going to support him because he's been through the hell the last how many years with his injury, and it's so good to see him fit and well and doing what he's doing at the moment. And I'll support him 100%. But my point is that I don't believe in this manager bounce. That's just not realistic for me. If it was a logical decision, you have somebody in to take over the team. And that's the way I think of things, a plan. And that's what annoys me about Tottenham at the moment, is that we don't have a plan. It's just
1-0 Aston Villa in the opening 20 seconds. 1-0 to Villa in the opening 20 seconds. Oh my God, I can't believe it. 1-0 to Villa. 1-0 to Villa. 20 seconds on the clock. My God, John McGinn. Oh wow, I literally can't believe it. 20 seconds in. Jesus. Terrible defending there from John Stones. And there he is, bang, puts it in. I mean, there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go. But what a great start. What a great start. My word. Listen, Alex, final question for you today. Are you confident ahead of the Carabao Cup final? What are you thinking?
I'm going to wait and see, mate. I can't make any conclusions at the moment, unfortunately. I wish I could give you an answer, but I don't know. I really don't know at the moment.
All right, bro. Listen, I appreciate you coming on and having your say, mate. Thank you very much indeed. People tell me to relax. Why would I not relax when... Forget it's... Man City just conceded after 20 seconds. That's something to celebrate as football fans. What is wrong with you all? Next on the show, Eleanor is here with us. Congratulations on getting your wish this week. Jose Mourinho gone. Poor first half performance. Excellent second half. I know you didn't watch the first half in terms of that, but what's your reaction to just getting rid of Jose, Mason coming in as an interim, coming from behind? Like, how do you feel that and going into and then pulling out the Super League? Give me your emotions over the last 48 hours.
I feel like I've actually lost my voice from actually celebrating a goal. Like, this is not me lying. Me and my dad have been singing and screaming. I haven't done that in 17 months. Like, I'm telling you, I feel connected to my club again, which is massive. But anyway, sorry, I'm on too much of a high of the game. You asked me so many things. Jose getting sacked, bittersweet because of the Super League. It kind of took a lot of the happiness out of it. Like, I was happy, but I wasn't happy for football. So it was bittersweet, the whole situation. So I wish they just re-announce it so I can celebrate it again. But yeah, like, cool. The Super League, my thoughts is absolutely disgraceful. As I said at the beginning, which might annoy people, but I don't think if Tottenham pulled out, you lot would follow. We're not the big giant in the situation, obviously. We're like the Tagalongs. That you lot would follow. So if we then pulled out, no one would follow, we'd be left behind. So if it's going ahead, I wanted to be in. I didn't want it to go ahead at all. But from my point of view, if it's going ahead, I didn't want to be left behind. So, when they were like, why wouldn't you want Tottenham to pull out? I'm like, I understand Levy's thought process here. We ain't won nothing. Why are we there? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
no, I think a lot of people criticized Tottenham for that. It was this element of why, like, who are you? Yeah. Like, what have you done to be here? No, I hear that. I hear that.
Like, we could have easily been left behind, easily. So it was like, for me, if it's going ahead, I want to be in it rather than not. But I'd rather it not go ahead at all. So once City pulled out, I was like, go, because once City go, Chelsea, I was like, we can pull out now. Everyone's going to pull out. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I just needed a giant to do it first.
I hear you. I do hear you on that. And I think that makes perfect sense in terms of the big weekend for Tottenham. Really, How do you feel about it? Do you feel like you've got more of a chance of winning? Do you feel like it's a free hit because it's Ryan Mate? Like if Jose lost, you know what the narrative would have been. You're here to win a trophy. You failed to win a trophy. You're a bum. Now, is there a little bit less pressure, do you feel?
Of course, there's less pressure. And, you like, for me, it was like Jose's a serial winner. We can't compare him to an under-18s coach. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like Jose's expectation. I said this at the beginning. When we got Jose, your expectations rise. And, my expectations were different. And they're not going to be the same with Ryan Mason as an interim. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So at the end of the day, I have to be honest. His CV does make people think differently. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I get that. But yeah, it's a free hit at the end of the day. We win, it's a miracle. We lose, it's expected. This super chat is 100% right. Levy's got to go. But at the end of the day, why not sack him when it's cheaper? Why do you want to spend more money? I don't know. We don't have any anyway, so I can get the thought process. In my opinion, I get what he's doing. I'll be easier on Levy. If anyone knows me, like you've known me for a few years, that's watching in real life, I hate Levy, right? I'll be easier on Levy if he gets this managerial position right from here on. I'll be easier on him because it's a pandemic, and so he gets the right one. I'll be easier. But right now, I'm a bit like, I'm happy that he's gone. But you should have sacked him after Zagreb, to be honest.
No, listen, I totally get that, and I think Jose had to go for everything I've read.
So many reasons.
Yeah, but they all stem around the same thing: his attitude, behavior, and toxicity at the club. And these were the things that I've been talking about for 2-3 years. That's wrong with Jose. It's done, and people keep focusing on his football, and I'm just sort of like, oh, that's really not the important thing with Jose. It's everything else.
Yeah, I just want to say some stat, which is very funny. Apparently, we've won the same amount of games under Ryan Mason coming up from behind than we did under Jose Mourinho. Mentality monsters here, yeah. Ryan Mason's mentality monsters. Number one. Gareth Bale's interview. I don't know if you've seen any quotes.
No, I haven't seen anything.
I know I'm rambling, but there's just so much to say. And I didn't watch the first half. I think I was the good luck charm, guys. I didn't watch the first half. I was at work, so yeah. Anyway, Bale basically said that we played. This is about being on the front foot more. We played more attacking. Our halftime talk was so lovely and so different, and we managed to realize what we were doing wrong, and we changed things. So he literally is firing shots at Jose's halftime talks, the changes, and the way we played. He was basically saying that like we need to play more attacking, and that first half wasn't good enough, but we realized what we did wrong about. I'm not saying Mason is like doing great. It's obviously a new manager bounce, but funny that Bale's interview seemed a lot very different.
But we knew what was going on. We knew what was going on, and it didn't even matter about the reports coming out of Tottenham. We saw what happened at the back end of Real Madrid, second spell at Chelsea, at Manchester United. And everyone that supported those clubs, barring I get some of the Chelsea fans that want some respect put in his name for what he's achieved. And I do understand that because he's one of the greatest managers of the last 25 years in the sport. There's no doubt. Cool. So many of the behaviors you could see and feel, we'd been through them. We knew what he was doing, the way he lied about Toby Alderweireld, the way he was treating Ndombele at parts last season. It just the Bale stuff, the whole thing. I will never
forgive him for Bale coming home and making this season one of the worst seasons I've watched. And I've seen us in some terrible form. And this was one of the worst connected I felt. And Bale came home. I will not forgive him for that. I hear
you on that completely. Listen, El, I appreciate you coming on and having your say with us today. Do me a big favor, everyone. Hit that like and that share button. We're live again after Villa versus Manchester City. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again.